2 microphones,
2 Amandas,
and some seriously entertaining tales. I'm Amanda Wedekamp.
and I'm Amanda Stanzione.
We know stories connect us all.
And we realized we have a mountain of stories to share. So buckle up,
And brace yourself for a wild ride.
because we've got a lot to say and probably too much to share. Amanda, I know you know that I recently moved, and I want to share with our listeners a little bit about my recent move.
Yes, tell us. And I love that we still get to record together.
I know! We're not too far, but far enough away that we don't get to see each other all the time. So for our listeners, we recently moved about an hour away, but we moved back to my hometown. Before we moved, we lived in this, East Cobb, metropolitan-ish, suburb. We lived in East Cobb for about 12 years. And then the kids have grown up. They have moved out of the house. They're pursuing college and other, exciting things. And so Chris and I didn't need that big house anymore. And we didn't have any family in East Cobb. So we thought, you know what? Let's downsize. And my sister and I are really close. She lives in our hometown, so let's move back to my hometown.
How fun, and I bet your sister is loving having you close.
She is, and I'm loving being close too. But I'll tell you a couple of exciting things. When I was growing up, Dallas was a bit rural. There was a 4-way stop and a flashing light.
Got it.
Now, while it's still not a huge suburb like East Cobb, Marietta, Roswell, what have you, it's become, it's not so rural anymore, but it still has its things.
Yes.
So I'll share a little bit with you. There's 3 things. One is gas station biscuits.
Oh, yum.
When Chris and I moved, it was 2 days later. We're driving past a gas station very close to our new home, and on the side, it's painted Fresh Biscuits Daily. And we're thinking, I don't know, is that an old sign, or do they actually have Fresh Biscuits Daily? So we decided to take a chance. Chris goes to the gas station. They are delicious.
Oh my gosh. Now, have you ever had gas station sushi?
Okay, no. And we can't get it in Dallas either. So, is that just a guess, or have you had gas station sushi?
I have seen gas station sushi, but I've never had gas station sushi.
I would probably stay away from that.
Yes,
Yeah.
but I love the gas station biscuits.
And they're so good. Chris said the gravy was great. So I'm like, great. Now we're the people who get gas station biscuits.
And is this an individually owned gas station is what I'm picturing?
Yes, that's what I was going to say. It's a family owned. And so every single morning they come and they make the biscuits, they make the gravy, they put it in a big crock pot, and they have bacon, and it's a whole thing.
Oh, I love it.
I love
Incredible.
it. Yeah, I love it so much. Okay, number 2 is yesterday morning, I looked out of the window, and first, we live very close to an elementary school. That's important. I look out the window and I see a lady in her robe driving a golf cart with her elementary school kid in the passenger seat. Just taking the kid to school.
In a robe and just having a good time.
Having a good time. She's in a golf cart. I'm like, okay, great. You own a golf cart. I'm also loving that.
And impressed.
Right. She's thinking, you're going to be late for school. We got to do it. I can't even put clothes on. I'm jumping in this golf cart in my robe.
I also wonder how many moms are in the carpool or pickup line in their pajamas anyway.
And they probably wouldn't even think twice. They're like, all right, this lady's dropping her. Good for her. So I just thought that was so funny because you would never see that in East Cobb.
Right.
Never. The third thing is out in Dallas, you can find basically any skilled labor you need. Like if you need anything done, there is somebody very close by, including my brother-in-law, who is amazing. He is a battalion chief at the fire station. He also works for a glass company and does big commercial glass projects. He also builds decks that are really fabulous with iron railing.
Oh, impressive.
Right? And then also, if you need an appliance installed, he can hook you up too. And he's married to my sister, who is a handful.
Should he come and help me with my hot water heater?
He probably would have gotten fixed faster had he come and helped you. No
Not
kidding.
3 weeks later.
Right, no kidding. So he's married to my sister, who's a handful, and they have 3 teenage boys, and she has a bunch of chickens and sells eggs.
The best.
And she hatches ducks in an incubator.
Oh my goodness.
And and he built her a duck pond.
Okay.
So, if you need anything done, my sister and I are now 15 minutes down the street. So, I've got built-in help.
That's amazing. I wonder if the 3 young boys, the teenagers, love the gas station biscuits. Have they tried them?
I don't know. I'm
You'll have to ask.
I'm sure they have. Because also, when I told my sister this and I was so excited, she was funny. She kind of laughed and gave me that oh, Amanda. Everybody out here has fresh biscuits at the gas station.
Don't you know?
Right. It's not just that gas station around the corner from your house.
So that's what it's like living in Dallas, Georgia.
And I'm loving it.
Oh, great. The title of this is From Indiana to Near International Incident.
Oh, that's quite the interesting title.
I discussed this on our trailer.
Oh.
This was one of the stories that I teased.
Is this the subway?
Yes.
Oh, I can't wait. This is going to be great. Okay, tell us.
I'm taking us back to May of 1984.
Okay.
I was 9 years old and I had just finished the 4th grade.
Okay.
At this time, my dad was in medical sales and
Okay.
he traveled a lot for work, but he was always driving to his locations.
Okay.
He never really flew.
Okay.
Most of his territory was the Midwest, and he usually spent a night or 2 in a hotel.
Okay. But yeah, just easy, familiar travel.
Yes, not really flying anywhere, but definitely doing the road trips and staying the night.
Okay.
His preferred hotel brand was Holiday Inn.
Oh, perfect. Yes.
And
As
this-
I think it was popular back then.
It was totally popular,
Yeah.
yes. Do you remember the Holiday Inn domes?
No.
Okay, they had
Holiday Inn
indoor, outdoor swimming pools.
Was it like the little bridge that
Yes,
went under?
yes.
Okay, I feel like I do. It's
coming back.
It's coming back
Yes.
a little bit. Yeah.
And this was just the beginning of travel rewards that we all know and love.
Absolutely.
Right.
I use certain credit cards for different things because I'm all about the travel rewards.
And we love the rewards and they're so worth it.
Yes.
Okay,
Agreed.
so this was where travel rewards were just getting started. And the Holiday Inn was having a contest.
And you do love contests.
I am all about contests, but this, of course, was my dad, so maybe I got it from him.
Probably.
But they were having a contest where every night you stayed, you got 1 point.
Okay.
And when you earned 75 points in a certain time period, then you could stay anywhere at any Holiday Inn for 1 week for free.
Anywhere?
Anywhere.
For a whole week for free.
A whole week.
So, but if you think about it, 1 night stay equals 1 point, and you had to have 75 points. So your dad had to get on the road and
Yes.
stay at this Holiday Inn 75 times.
He was staying at least 75 nights at various Holiday Inns, and he finally earned it.
That's great.
And his whole goal was to take us to London.
Your father, how sweet.
Yes.
His goal was for his family.
Yes, he definitely had been infatuated with London and really wanted to go and visit and bring us.
That's exciting. And had you ever been to Europe?
I had never hardly even been on an airplane yet. We had maybe flown to Florida once or twice, but our preferred travel as a family was road trips to usually go see family.
Right.
So living in Indiana, we're going to Ohio and Michigan, and my grandparents had lived in Florida. So we would drive down to see them. We rarely flew.
Okay. So this was, a huge trip for you guys.
This was a very big deal to my parents, and I think we were all very excited.
good.
This was still at the time when people dressed up to travel.
Oh, yes.
Yes.
Very fancy.
Very fancy. So that was really important to my parents. My mom took my sister and I. Now my sister's 12. I'm 9. And so the 3 of us, my mom, sister, and I, we all go to get perms.
No.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
I love that your mom's like, well, we're going to London. We all need to get a perm.
We need our perms.
Oh, love this so much.
They also bought us some new clothing items. We all got trench coats.
Okay.
Because that feels very London.
That feels London.
My trench coat was blue. I think because, of course, I always wanted to be different as a kid.
Yes.
My dad's trench coat, my mom and sisters, they were all the beige, but mine was blue.
Of course, you had to stand out.
Yes, and we have shirts with collars. I've got a sweater vest and some corduroys and khakis.
So not what you would normally wear. This is all brand new for the trip.
Brand new for the trip, and they made us dress up for the flight.
I love your mom. I mean, I don't even know your mom. I mean,
she is pretty great. I do love her.
That's fantastic.
And so many people, sidebar, so many people tell us, like, I wish your mom was my mom. I'm like, she really is great. Like, everybody loves my mom.
That's
so
very
it's so
cool.
fun. The most memorable part about the flight was that my mom, sister, and I, we're in the 3 section of seats.
Okay.
My dad's in the back in the smoking section.
Smoking section, of course. There's a smoking section.
And my dad was a smoker at the time.
Okay.
So is that just funny to
Yes,
you now
yes.
that you could have smoked on a plane?
First of all, that's nuts. But it's always funny to me when you're in confined spaces like that, like even restaurants, that there's a smoking section. Let's be real. There is no section.
Right. We're all breathing it in.
Right. We're all in the smoking section.
Right. Even in casinos, when they have the smoking section, you're like, okay, we're all breathing it in.
It's all a smoking section.
And on the airplane, all they did was close that little curtain. And I'm like, we're still smelling it.
Of course.
We did the overnight flight, and my dad had a packed itinerary for us.
Oh, good. Really involved. Wanting to
Yes.
make this a great trip.
And my mom kept a travel journal.
Oh, this is where you get it from. All the scrapbooking and keeping track. Oh, okay.
And so that's where a lot of my memories are coming from. The real detailed information is coming from her journal.
Oh, that's so great.
And we have an entire manila envelope full of photos. So I will share a few select ones. Most of them are not of us. They're of sites.
Do we at least have one with the perms?
Oh, yeah. We totally have them with the perms.
That's important.
Yes. And we also got some new newsboy caps for the trip.
No.
Yes. Because, again, we had to be fancy.
And I do love, though, what's the definition of fancy?
Right. Different for every person.
Exactly.
We land at 7:30 in the morning. My mom was super detailed in the journal. And she tells us that we went to go get breakfast in the hotel, and then we have a double-decker bus tour.
Awesome. Did you sleep at all in the plane?
My mom said the girls dozed, and Larry and I didn't really sleep.
Oh, but then at 7:30 a.m., she's ready to eat breakfast and get on a double-decker.
Well, I think they said we have a double-decker bus tour. This is what we're doing,
right,
ladies.
Right. It's happening.
We have a plan.
Got it.
And, those double-decker buses, the big red ones, they're super famous.
Yeah, of course.
I have a memory of my dad's head bobbing because he kept falling asleep.
Oh, your poor father.
And what's so funny is I remembered that, and then I read it in the journal. Mandy and Larry kept falling asleep because my family calls me Mandy.
Right, yeah.
And so that was super funny that I was like, I definitely remembered that because my dad wasn't somebody who would randomly fall asleep. Like, a lot of adult men kind of just doze.
Right.
He never was like that. And so the fact that I could
it's
see
a
his
memory
head
that
bobbing,
you remember that because he's so not a dozer.
Exactly. It was hilarious. Our hotel was super close to the Tube subway station. They call it the Tube there,
right.
But we know it as the subway. And we had a 7-day pass. So the goal was to use the Tube as much as possible since the black cabs were costly.
And I love that it says, mind the gap.
Yes. And I always was like, what does that mean? It's like, oh, watch out for the area.
Right, the area
hole
between where you're standing on the platform and then getting on the,
Right.
I always thought that was wild.
I do love that too. That's a funny phrase to us.
Yes.
We don't know that phrase.
Right.
I also remember thinking it was so cool to see the steering wheel on the opposite side of the car.
That is very cool.
And they drove on the opposite side of the road.
Which is so wild to me.
It really felt like a completely different country. And I know it is, but I mean, we felt like we are in a whole different world.
Right, of course.
We've left Earth and gone to a different land.
Right, and you're 9, so it seems very foreign.
So foreign to me. We did all the touristy things. The Tower Bridge, Big Ben, the Crown Jewels.
The Crown Jewels.
I bet you would love.
I would love that.
I remember walking through and picking the ones I wanted.
Oh, yes.
As if we're just going to be given them.
Right, of course.
The changing of the guard, We also went to a London dungeon where we saw all forms of torture.
Why would your parents have put that on the itinerary?
I thought about that myself, and I was like, what were they thinking?
Hi, kids. We're going to go do this tour, and you can see all forms of torture.
Medieval torture.
Yes.
And we have lots of pictures of that.
Have you asked your mom, like, why?
No. Well, this is what she would say. Your dad planned the trip.
Okay. All right. Well,
That's what
and
she
my
would
dad
say.
thinks that was a great idea. I mean, he probably wanted to see it. It was something that kind of was on his list, and then he thought, well, they're going to do what I say.
Yep,
I'm on it. It's my
I earned
itinerary.
this trip.
Right. Exactly. I earned the trip. They're on the trip because of me.
Yes. We had high tea at Harrods
Oh, that's very cool.
twice.
Did your mom love that?
Yes.
Was it a thing where you did it and you were like, oh,
And
we
we
need to do
loved
this
it. We're
again?
like, we're going to do this again.
Yeah, I
Yes.
love it. Yeah.
We saw the play Mousetrap.
Okay. I don't.
It's been running for like 32 years. At that time, it had been running for 32 years. I don't remember it.
Yeah.
So it wasn't
You were
that
9.
memorable.
Right.
I was 9. One of my more memorable events was feeding the pigeons at Trafalgar Square.
They are so nasty. They're like the just raccoons or of the air.
Yes.
Like they're just so nasty.
Yes. And we bought food to feed them,
Yeah.
which seems crazy to me.
It seems crazy now, but I think at the time it was like, oh, the birds.
Right.
Feed the birds.
Feed the birds, right? From Mary Poppins.
Yes.
Isn't
Feed the
that
birds.
very similar?
Yes.
And there's pictures of the pigeons just literally attacking me. And my parents were laughing so hard. They thought it was the funniest thing ever.
It reminds me of Home Alone. There was in one of the Home Alone movies, like the pigeon lady, and they all were on her. That's all I can see in my head.
Or the movie The Birds.
Yes,
That was terrifying.
yes.
So that was super funny.
Great. And your family
And
thought that was funny.
They all thought it was hilarious. I remember the tube being a very big deal. This was really my first time using public transportation. I grew up in rural Indiana.
Right.
We literally drove everywhere.
Right.
I don't even know that I had crossed with a light crosswalk
Right,
before
yes.
this trip.
No, that makes sense. Because
Right.
why would you?
Because, again, if any of our trips are road trips to see family,
Right.
we're not going to major cities.
Right. You're not out walking the blocks.
Right. So this was public transportation. I remember going down and waiting, mind the gap,
Yes.
waiting for the train to come. And we had ridden it quite a bit already. On one of the nights, my dad, sister, and I were going to the ballet.
Okay, but not your mom.
Right. Which I've asked her a few times.
Mm-hmm.
Mom, why didn't you go to the ballet? She's like, I didn't want to go. And I said, yeah, I know, but I also know how Dad was.
Right. And if Dad planned the itinerary and we're going to a ballet, hey, lady.
Right.
What were you doing?
Right. So I think, honestly, maybe we could only get 3 tickets.
Okay. That might be the
That's the conclusion
Yeah.
my mom and I came to.
Okay.
And we decided that he couldn't have left my sister or I back at the hotel. So
True, yeah.
he's taking the 2 young ladies to the
the
ballet.
ballet.
And we're going to ride the tube because we've got this 7-day pass.
Okay.
Now, my only example of ever riding a ride like this, like I'm picturing it's like a amusement ride, okay?
Okay.
We had gone to Kings Island every year growing up.
What's Kings Island?
It is a theme park in Ohio.
Okay.
Kind of like Six Flags.
Okay, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And when we would go, I mean, we went every single year because my grandfather worked for Procter & Gamble, and they had Procter & Gamble Day at Kings Island.
Oh, that's fantastic.
And only employees and their families could go. So we would they rented out the whole park. It was so fun.
That is cool. Very
At
cool.
that time, I remember thinking it's really cool to ride in the front of any of the roller coasters.
I still think that.
Yes.
Because you're the first ones to see the excitement.
Everything.
Yes.
So in my brain, I'm thinking, I want to ride in the front car of the tube.
Okay.
We have not ridden in the front car, and I'm excited, and it's the 3 of us. We're going to go to the front car. I don't believe I explained this to them, but in my
your
head, I'm like, this is what I want to do.
Right. But your inside voice did not communicate this on the outside.
Correct.
Okay.
We're walking up to the subway, which we know is the tube, and I'm thinking, I'm going to go get in the front car. And so I start walking to the front car, and I look back thinking my dad and sister are following me.
Of course.
And they get in one of the middle cars. And so now I turn back and I run to get back in the middle car, and the door's shut.
No way.
Yes.
That is scary.
Yes.
Like, did they see, like, obviously they turned around thinking, oh, Mandy's right behind us.
Right. And I wasn't.
And you were
I was
not?
on my way to the front car because I'm thinking it's like an amusement ride.
And you're thinking they're going to obviously follow me.
And I turn around and they're not there. And so I'm like, well, I got to go back with them.
And then you run back.
I run back.
And you see them.
And I see them. They're on the train station, the train.
And the doors are closing.
The doors close.
Oh, the door is closed.
The door.
And now you're standing there.
It closed as I'm trying to figure out what I'm going to do.
Oh, no.
So my dad looks.
Yeah, was he just terrified?
Oh, out the window. And I'll never forget his face. And he goes, stay right there.
Yeah. Yes. As a parent, that very stern look of stay right there.
Yes.
I mean, because that means I will know where to find you when I come back.
Right.
Do not go anywhere.
And I think there are families who do plans for things like this. Like if you go to Disney, if you get lost, what do we do?
Right.
We didn't discuss that because, again, this wasn't really that time.
This was
Nobody
the 80s.
had really done that yet.
Right. No one's talking through.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay. So I look around me. There's not really anyone there because they all got on the train.
Also, were you scared?
Oh, I was terrified.
Oh, okay.
I
yeah.
mean, I'm terrified.
Right.
And there's a bench behind me. So I go and I'm like, I'm just going to sit on the bench. And so I'm sitting on the bench and I'm thinking like.
And you look so cute because you're going to the ballet.
Yes.
And you're all alone sitting on the bench.
And I'm thinking, is the boogeyman going to come get me?
Oh.
I mean, because this was also. Adam Walsh had been kidnapped in 1981. Do you remember him?
Yeah, was
Code
he?
Adam? John Walsh.
Yes,
from
yes. What is Unsolved?
America's Most Wanted.
Oh, that's right. And his own son.
Yes. And that was kind of a random kidnapping.
Yeah.
And that was 1981.
And here you're at 9 years old.
And I'm 9.
Thinking about this?
Remember thinking like, kids get kidnapped. Like that's a thing. And I'm scared.
And I'm in another country.
Yes. So I'm sitting on the bench and I kind of look over and there's a Cadbury vending machine.
Oh, okay.
And I'm thinking, God, if only I had some money, I'd get some chocolate. I would feel a lot better now.
I feel a lot better being all alone and left in a subway station.
And Cadbury vending machines? Who's ever heard of that?
Right. We don't have any of that.
That seems so fancy to me.
That seems great.
And I've really fixated on the Cadbury vending machine.
And it was the early 80s.
Know what to do. Yes.
I want that.
So I asked my sister recently, tell me what your thoughts were when this was happening.
Great question.
And she's like, well, first I thought, oh, Mandy's going to get kidnapped.
Oh, she thought that
She
too.
did.
Oh, because she was 12 and it's like my little sister.
Yes.
Oh, that we've loved on the
And she was
platform.
terrified. And then she's like, how do we get her back? Like,
right.
Mandy lives there now. Like, what do we do?
because they've taken off.
Right. So they got off at the next station.
Scary.
And then go back and get on the next station, the next train to come back to get me. My dad walks up.
Did you
I
cry?
see them. I'm sure I burst into tears.
I'm sure.
I mean, I'm sure I did.
Yeah.
What I do remember is I never got in trouble for this.
Oh, good.
And I remember thinking, I'm going to get in so much trouble. But I think my dad was probably so terrified.
Yes.
So relieved that nothing happened to me.
And that you were just there on the platform.
And it all turned out okay, that it was like, oh, I definitely learned my lesson. I'm going to hold her hand.
Right.
And I'm going to hold his hand.
Right.
Anytime we get in the tube.
Right.
And I'm also not going to try to run and get on the first car.
Right. Without telling anyone, hey, let's go sit up here.
Yes.
Yeah. Just instead, it's like, I have no thoughts. I'm 9. Follow my dad.
Right.
That's
stick
really
with him and don't try to be independent and take the crowd to the front car.
Yes. Also, I want to know what your mom thought.
So I asked her because I was like, did we not tell her? I mean,
right.
But then I know
but
my
you went
sister
to the
and
ballet,
I,
though. I mean,
yes,
you just
we
kept,
went to the ballet and then we came back. And I know my sister and I can't keep secrets at all. Much better now, but we told my mom and she said she didn't remember being like super upset because it all worked out.
Right.
But she did remember my dad was like nervous and anxious and it was a whole thing.
Yeah.
And it's definitely something I've never forgotten.
Oh, of
I
course.
mean, my whole life.
And you have children who are now young adults. Have you, I mean, as they were growing up, did you remember this? Like the different times where you like, hold on to me?
Yes, because we have taken our kids in public transportation.
Yep.
We have taken our kids overseas. And I have always tried to keep us together. Actually, my kids will laugh about this, but for many years, I traveled with them by myself because Jim was working and we had breaks and I was like, we're going to go.
Yeah.
So in the airport, we always had, I was like, get in line. So it was I would lead, then Gwen, and then Gus, because Gus is 5 years older than Gwen.
Okay.
And he would kind of keep the order,
Right.
behind.
Sure.
Because he wasn't going to lead.
Right.
But I didn't want her to be left behind.
Right.
And so I'd be like, get in order! Like, if they weren't listening, I'd get real worked up.
Because listen, I was left
Yes.
in London.
Yes!
So do they know that story?
They do know that story,
Okay.
yes. And that, my friends, is how I went from Indiana to near international incident.
Well, I'm glad you were saved.
Me too.